Speaking of bandwagoners, I was always a big bandwagon NBA fan. I never had a team. First team I ever liked was the 90s Bulls. Yes, I'm about to talk about The Last Dance. And I think the latest episodes that came out, episodes 7 and 8, where he went and played baseball. And, while I was watching the 2 episodes last night, I think I realized why I love this documentary so much. And I think I realized why maybe everybody's loving this documentary so much. Is it's reminding us of the 90s. For me, the 90s was the greatest 10 years of my entire life. I was a child. I was born in 87, so 90, I was 3, all the way up to 99, I was like 12 or something. I think 12. But I think the best years are from the time you're born to when you're 10. So most of the 90s was the most joyous time in my life. I had no bad times. All of the 90s to me was just push pops and slip and slides and Sega Genesis and hanging out with my friends and Flintstones vitamins and Michael Jordan and pro wrestling and Ninja Turtles, X-Men. It was just a joy. It was a good time. We thought pasta was healthy. There was like a time in the 90s when they thought pasta was good for you, so your mom would make you pasta. I'd be like, this is great. Every time was awesome. I think the first 10 years of someone's life, that's like the equivalent of going to a pitch meeting for a timeshare. It's great. You're in a nice office. There's a bunch of refreshments and snacks and just people telling you about all the good times you're going to have with family and friends for no down payment and a very low monthly. It's totally feasible with the finances you just wrote down on this paper. This can be you. This can be your life, and you're daydreaming and you're thinking of what could be and how great this is and how great it's going to be. That's the first 10 years of life. And then every year after that starts with 11, then 12, then 13, then 14, then 15, and 16, 17, 18, all the way into your 20s, and then your 30s. Every day, just slowly and slowly feeling more like you're on the phone with the company trying to get out of this brutal contract. Realizing you've made a giant mistake. That's why I like The Last Dance. That documentary series is bringing me back to the great heyday of the 90s, which was my beautiful segment of life, of nothing but pure innocence, bliss, and fun, good times. I don't remember any bad times in the 90s. My grandma died. That was a day. But for the most part, the 90s was mwah. Every day just filled with hugs and cake. There was always someone's birthday. I don't think there was a single day in the 90s when it wasn't someone's birthday and they'd bring cupcakes to class. This was before peanut allergies. Had a good time. There's pizza day on Fridays. It's great. I can't knock it. And then I think I sit here every Sunday and I watch the 2 newest episodes of The Last Dance, and I'm learning, Michael Jordan played baseball, his dad got murdered, Rodman was crazy. But wow, it takes me back, that beautiful nostalgic moment. I'm watching Michael Jordan dunk from the foul line, but really what I'm feeling in my heart is just going down that slip and slide, in my neighbor's yard. The real slip and slide, not the ghetto one where you just put a bunch of trash bags together and throw some dish soap in a hose. No, the real one, because it was the rich kids down the street, and it was the real one with the soft nylon, and you just slid, and then you hit that first bump, and you hit the little pool, and then they squirt you in the... Joy, man. Real joy. Remember Joy? This documentary couldn't have come out at a better time. Especially at a time like this when you're just locked inside with your own thoughts. The worst place anyone could ever be. Give you a little bit of escape to remember the great decade that was the 90s. Unless you were, in your 20s in the 90s, then maybe it wasn't that solid. But that's not how I remember it. That was a glorious time. God bless Michael Jordan. God bless the Bulls. Phil Jackson, Scottie Pippen, Dennis Rodman, even Tony Kukoc. Couldn't play D, but we liked him. Jerry Krause can still suck it, but that documentary is just... takes me back, man. I want a fruit roll-up and a cool Trapper Keeper. every time I watch that documentary. We need that in life right now. I think we do.